I want you to picture something, a really specific, maybe even a haunting scenario.
Okay, I'm with you.
It's, let's say, Tuesday afternoon, around 2 o'clock. You walk into the office kitchen, or, maybe you're just staring at your own kitchen, and you open the fridge.
Ah, the office fridge.
You're just looking for an iced coffee,
Yeah.
something simple.
Yeah.
But the second that seal breaks, you are just hit with this wall of what I can only describe as biological history.
Oh, I know that smell. I know it well. It's the smell of good intentions gone very, very wrong.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're looking at this landscape of horrors. You get a Tupperware in the back. It's wrapped in aluminum foil like some kind of mummy.
Right, and you have no idea what's inside.
Is it lasagna? Is it birthday cake? Is it a science experiment?
Well-
Nobody knows, so nobody touches it.
Yeah.
And then you see the yogurt cup that expired when people were still using, like, flip phones.
And the smell. The smell isn't just one thing, is it? It's the whole atmosphere.
It's the collective atmosphere of neglect. It's a visceral experience.
It is. I think
Yeah.
everyone has that shared fridge trauma.
We do. But, and stick with me here, this is the pivot. We are not doing a deep dive on workplace hygiene today.
Or passive-aggressive notes about dishwashing.
We are talking about something that usually makes people's eyes glaze over faster than a PowerPoint on, I don't know, tax code. We're talking about data governance.
It is maybe the single driest topic in the corporate world, but it's also probably the most critical one right now.
Right. And usually when we talk about this, we are just drowning in jargon, lineage tracking, metadata repositories, master data management.
You got all the buzzwords.
But our source materials for this deep dive, the Data Governance Analogy Toolkit, it argues we've been doing it all wrong. It suggests that the nightmare of the office fridge is actually the perfect tool to explain all this stuff, enterprise data risk, to people who don't speak IT.
And that really is the mission here. We're not just trying to explain what governance is. We're trying to give you a story, a narrative device.
Because compliance doesn't sell.
It doesn't. But moldy sandwiches? That sells.
So let's set the stage. The whole premise is that your company's data environment, all your data lakes, your cloud storage, those chaotic shared drives.
They're exactly like a communal fridge.
It's a shared space where everyone just dumps their stuff, assumes it's going to stay fresh forever, and takes like zero responsibility for cleaning it up.
And just like that fridge, without rules, without governance, it turns toxic. And I want to be clear here, this isn't just about mess. In a business context, mess equals risk. It equals liability.
Okay, so let's unpack that. The ungoverned fridge.
Yeah.
The toolkit points to 3 specific things that just ruin the environment. The first one is that foil-wrapped mystery block I mentioned.
The unlabeled container.
Yeah. It's sitting there on the middle shelf, no name, no date, no label. You have no clue who put it there or what's inside.
And this is the key question. Because you don't know what it is, what do you do with it?
I ignore it.
Yeah.
I work around it. I'll probably shove it to the back to make room for my own stuff.
But you don't throw it away.
No way. No. It might be the CEO's lunch, for all I know. It could be something important. I'm not touching it. I'm not taking that risk.
And that is precisely how we get dark data.
Okay.
In a company, this is that folder on the shared drive called Project X Final V2
Yeah.
or Backup 2021. There are no headers, no descriptions, no documentation at all.
But wait, let me play devil's advocate for a second. If nobody knows what it is, why don't we just delete it? I mean, it's been sitting there for 3 years untouched. It's got to be trash, right?
You would think so. But in the corporate world, there's this thing called the fear of dependency.
The fear of dependency.
Yeah. What if that unlabeled spreadsheet is actually somehow feeding a legacy script that runs the payroll system? Or what if it's the only copy of the Q3 audit logs? Because it's unlabeled, the risk of deleting it feels much higher than the cost of just keeping it.
So we operate out of fear.
Yeah.
We become digital hoarders.
We do. And it all accumulates. And it's not just about taking up storage space, which, let's be fair, is pretty cheap these days. The real cost is liability. Imagine that foil-wrapped block has customer social security numbers from a system you retired 5 years ago. You don't even know it's there. But if you get breached,
The hackers will find it.
the hackers will find it.
Wow. Okay, that is a terrifying thought. So the mystery block isn't just clutter, it's a landmine.
Exactly. It's a risk you can't manage because you don't even know it exists.
Okay, so that brings us to the second part of this horror show. Expired yogurt. Now, this is different because we know what it is. The label says strawberry yogurt, but the date says 2019.
Right. In the fridge, the danger is biological. You eat that, you get sick. Simple. In the data world, this is outdated information that looks perfectly valid at a first glance.
Like old customer records or pricing models from 2 years ago.
Or code that references a product you don't even sell anymore.
But again, is this really a crisis? If I'm a salesperson and I pull up a record and the phone number's wrong, I find the new one. It's annoying, sure, but is it toxic?
Think bigger. We're not just talking about one person looking up one phone number. We're in the age of AI and machine learning. Companies are training these huge models on their data lakes.
Okay.
So what happens if you feed a predictive model expired yogurt, say, data from a pre-COVID market?
The model learns all the wrong patterns.
It's worse than that. It learns the wrong patterns, but it presents them with super high confidence. So you end up making huge strategic decisions, setting prices, forecasting inventory based on a reality that just doesn't exist anymore.
So you get sick at an enterprise level.
That's it. That's getting sick. It's not just, oops, wrong number. It's, oops, we just wrecked our margin for the quarter because our pricing algorithm thinks it's 2018.
That really puts a whole new spin on it.
And think of it this way. You shouldn't have to sniff test every tub of yogurt in the fridge to see if it's safe. A data scientist shouldn't have to fact-check every single row of data to see if it's still relevant.
If they're doing that, they're not doing data science.
No, they're doing janitorial work. They're spending 80% of their time just cleaning the data. They're scraping the mold off the cheese just to get one usable slice.
Okay, so we've got the mystery bombs and the expired poison. That leads to the third thing, which I think is the most insidious, the mystery smell.
The toxicity.
Yeah.
In a fridge, if you have one rotting thing, it releases a smell that just permeates everything else. Even the fresh food starts to seem suspect.
Right. If I walk into a smelly kitchen, I'm not putting my fresh lunch in that fridge. I'll keep it at my desk.
And that is a perfect metaphor for trust. If a VP looks at a dashboard and finds one glaring error, one rotting number, they don't just blame that one number.
They say the data is bad.
The whole thing. They throw the whole dashboard out.
And then what?
And then they go back to their own private Excel spreadsheets. We call it shadow IT. People just stop using the shared system because they don't trust it. So now you have 50 different versions of the truth on 50 different desktops.
So the smell isn't just an annoyance. It actually fractures the organization. It drives people away from the single source of truth.
It destroys the ROI of your entire data platform. You can spend millions building a data warehouse, but if it smells funny, nobody will use it.
Okay, that is bleak, but it's very effective. I can see how explaining it like that to a manager helps them get it emotionally.
Right.
So let's pivot to the solution. The toolkit doesn't just point out the mold, it offers the bleach. How do we turn this mess into a governed fridge?
Well, the first step is actually the hardest. We have to reframe the word governance.
Yeah, because governance sounds like the police. It sounds like bureaucracy.
Fill out this form in triplicate before you save a file.
Exactly. And if you pitch it that way, you will fail.
In the fridge analogy, governance isn't bureaucracy. It's basic hygiene. It's common courtesy. It's the difference between a kitchen you want to be in and a biohazard.
So what's rule number 1 of the governed fridge?
Solution number 1, ownership. Or as I like to call it, the Sharpie rule.
If you put it in, you write your name on it.
It sounds so simple. But think about the impact. If I see a container, it looks a little suspect, but it says Dave on it. Now, I'm not afraid of it. I know who to ask. Hey, Dave, is this still good?
And Dave has to answer for it.
Dave has to take responsibility. In the data world, this is data stewardship. Every data set, every dashboard, every single table needs a clear owner. If the data looks moldy, you have to know exactly who to call to fix it.
But this is where I get a little skeptical. In the real world, nobody wants to sign their name on the messy stuff, right? Everyone wants to own the shiny new project, but nobody wants to be the owner of the legacy customer database that's full of mistakes. How do you solve that?
You're right, that is the friction point, but the analogy helps here too. You can't leave food in the fridge anonymously. If you do, it gets tossed immediately. That has to be the policy.
So data without an owner is a liability, not an asset.
It's a liability. You have to force the issue. If this data is valuable enough to keep, it is valuable enough to own.
It's an ultimatum. Claim it or we clean it.
Pretty much, yeah. Which leads directly to solution number 2, expiry rules.
The dreaded Friday clean out.
The fridge is cleared out every Friday at 5 p.m.
I've worked in offices with that rule. People hate it. They scream, my ketchup.
Yeah.
But you know what? The fridge is always clean.
It works. In the data world, this is your data retention policy. You have to establish clear rules for how long data lives, when is it archived, when is it hard deleted.
Okay, but I'm going to push back again. In a fridge, Space is limited. But in the cloud, space is basically infinite and cheap. So why not just keep everything forever, just in case?
The hoarder's fallacy. Two big reasons. One, we already talked about liability. If you keep data you don't need, you're just holding on to risk. But two, and this is a big one, searchability. Have you ever tried to find one specific file in a shared drive with 10 years of folders called Final Draft?
It's a nightmare. It's actually faster to just recreate the file from scratch sometimes.
Exactly. Infinite storage leads to zero findability. By having expiry rules, you're not just saving space, you're preserving the freshness and the usability of the whole environment. You're making sure when someone searches for Q3 sales, they get the actual report, not some draft from 2015.
I buy that. A curated library is always better than a chaotic landfill, even if the landfill is infinite.
Okay, so what's the third piece?
Solution number 3, the ingredient list.
So knowing what's actually inside the container.
Right. Imagine a container that just says lunch. Does it have peanuts in it? Is it vegan? Is it gluten-free? If I have a severe allergy, I can't touch that. It's too risky.
And in data terms, what's the allergy?
Privacy regulations, GDPR, CCPA. If I'm a data analyst and I see a table called user data, I absolutely need to know, does this contain personally identifiable information? Can I use this for a marketing email, or did these users opt out?
Right.
If I don't know the ingredients, using that data isn't just a bad idea. It's legally dangerous.
So this is metadata. This is metadata and data catalogs. But again, don't sell it as metadata. Sell it as the nutrition label. It tells you where the data came from, when it was made, and most importantly, if it's safe to consume.
I see. So instead of saying, we need to populate the metadata repository, you say to the business, we need to label the jars so nobody accidentally serves peanut butter to a kid with a nut allergy.
Exactly. It turns a boring technical task into a critical safety requirement.
Which brings us to, I think, the most important part of this deep dive, the application.
How you actually use this.
Yeah, we've got the analogy. It's funny, it's relatable. But if I'm listening to this and I have a meeting with my CFO tomorrow, how do I actually drop the fridge bomb effectively?
You use it to sensitize them. You have to realize that most executives see data governance as a cost center. They just think it's the IT people asking for more money to buy more fancy software.
Right. Why do you need a new tool? Don't we already have Excel?
So you don't talk about the tool. You talk about the environment. You go into that office and you say, look, we're trying to cook a gourmet meal here. We're trying to run advanced analytics, but our kitchen is a disaster. We are spending 90% of our time just scrubbing pans and smelling milk to see if it's gone sour.
That reframes the problem. It's not, we need software. It's, we have a massive efficiency problem.
And you make it about speed. Do you want us to be faster? To get insights faster? Then we need a clean fridge. We need to know that when we reach for the customer churn ingredient, it's fresh.
Okay, but what about the resistance? Because even if they buy the analogy, people hate changing their habits. The sales team does not want to tag their data. Marketing doesn't want to delete old files.
That's where you have to pivot from rules to culture. And this is the provocative thought I want to sort of land on here.
Go for it.
Think about a real office kitchen. Why do most people, not everyone, but most, clean up after themselves?
Social pressure. Nobody wants to be that guy.
Right.
You know? If you leave a tuna sandwich out on the counter for 3 days, you become a pariah.
Exactly. There's a social contract. We respect the shared space because we have to look our colleagues in the eye every day.
But in the digital space, that pressure is completely gone.
It's gone. I can dump 50 gigabytes of unlabeled junk onto the server and just walk away, and nobody sees me do it. There's no shame.
And that's the root of the problem.
It is. We treat our digital spaces like private dumping grounds, not communal resources. So true governance isn't just about buying a piece of software that automatically deletes files. It's about creating that same social pressure in the digital realm.
So making it visible when someone leaves a mess.
Yes, gamify it. Publish a leaderboard of the cleanest departments.
All right.
Or conversely, show the storage cost per department in the monthly meeting. Make the digital mess visible the same way a dirty dish in the sink is visible.
That's powerful. It shifts the burden from the governance team having to police everyone to the community policing itself.
Right. Hey, marketing, clean up your folder. You're making the whole server smell.
When the culture shifts, the governance becomes easy.
It stops being a rule you have to enforce, and it just becomes how we do things here.
I love that. So for the listener who's trying to push this rock up the hill,
Yeah.
stop talking about SQL and schemas.
Start talking about sandwiches.
It works.
It works, I promise you. If you can make them feel the disgust of the dirty fridge, You can make them feel the urgency of data hygiene.
And if they want to dig deeper into this, because I know that the data governance analogy toolkit has more than just the fridge one.
Oh, absolutely. The fridge is just the starting point. They have analogies for API integrations, for cloud migration, for almost everything. You can find more at the DG Specialist website, that's dgspecialist.com/podcast, or check out their YouTube channel at DG Specialist.
It seems like a great resource for anyone who has to be that translator between the technical world and the business world.
And that is such a vital role. Being the translator is how you get budget. It's how you get things done.
So here's my challenge to everyone listening. When you log off today, or when you go back to your dashboard, take a hard look at your own data fridge.
Be honest with yourself.
How many unlabeled containers can you find in your own My Documents folder? How many files are you keeping just in case from a project that ended in 2022?
Once you start seeing it as rotting food, you can't unsee it.
And maybe, just maybe, be the person who brings the Sharpie to work. Label your stuff. Don't be the one ruining the kitchen for everyone else.
Please, for the sake of all the data scientists.
Thanks for diving in with us. We'll see you in the next one.